Yo ho everybody, and welcome to another edition of Yinzer on Hockey. Before we begin, make sure you go down below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell beside it to make sure you get notifications on all the latest goings on in the NHL around the entire league. I cover all 31 teams, and if you like hockey the way I do, be sure to stay tuned. So today we are going to take a look at 5 teams that are potentially going to be very active in free agency based on 3 different factors. Their current roster makeup, meaning they're pretty much built and still have a lot of cap space available. Number 2 being the cap space available. And number 3 being free agents' desires to possibly go and play for these teams, as they are pretty well built and ready to go, pretty much ready to compete right now. Number 1 on my list right now is the Colorado Avalanche. Currently have 21 players on their roster with available cap space of approximately $27.9 million based on the current $75 million cap. Possible pending UFAs is Blake Como. Nail Yakupov is a RFA, probably not going to tender him. Patrick Nemeth is an RFA on their defense. He will probably be tendered and probably get an offer from the Avalanche, as he played very great in the playoffs and down the stretch for the Avalanche. He was a great defenseman for them. In gold, they have Jonathan Bernier is unrestricted free agent. Possibly they bring him back to cover that number 2 goaltender role, as he's done for the past few years for them. Number 2. Your defending Western Conference champions, Vegas Golden Knights, currently have 18 players on their roster with approximately $30.8 million of available free cap space to spend in free agency. And again, that's all based off of the current $75 million cap space. Notable unrestricted free agents for them is James Neal and David Perron, as well as Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves probably won't get a contract offer. He'll probably be able to go and test the market. RFAs, William Karlsson for their forward group. He is due for a big raise, so he will eat into that cap space a bit. On the defense, Luka Spiza is a notable UFA for their defense, so he'll probably get a contract offer. I'm sure they're working with him. Colin Miller is an RFA. They're definitely probably going to tender him, but still, even after all these guys are re-signed or left go, they're going to have a lot of available cap space to go after some of the bigger name free agents out there. Number 3 on my list is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs currently have 17 players on their roster with about $29 million in available cap space. They are in a different situation. They do have a lot of their own players they need to re-sign, such as Tyler Bozak, who plays generally a third-line center role for them. He's played some top 6 minutes for them in the past, so he's a guy they're going to want to look to re-sign, as well as James Van Riemsdyk, an amazing sniper playing left wing for them. He's probably going to demand a hefty amount of money, and I don't know if Toronto is going to be able to make that work for them. On the defensive core, they have Roman Polak. He's definitely somebody they're going to want to consider re-signing. Right side defensemen are a very hot commodity on the free agent market. Goaltending, they're locked up for this year. Curtis McElhaney still has 1 more year at $850,000. Freddie Anderson signed for a few more years. So again, they'll have to address their own needs first. A guy like Van Riemsdyk, probably $8.5 million a year. Leo Komarov as well could garner some attention on the free agent market, but Bozak, Van Riemsdyk, definitely guys you need to look at re-signing. But they still should have, if those guys don't come back, they'll have the ammunition to go out and target some big name free agents. And again, this is a team that's ready, built for the playoffs, and definitely a threat in the near future. Number 4 for me is the New Jersey Devils. Currently have 19 players signed, approximately $23.5 million in available cap space. Notable UFAs for them is Michael Grabner, Patrick Maroon, Both of those guys, I could see Maroon re-signing. He fit pretty well after the trade deadline with them, and I think he's a guy that they would like to bring back. But beyond that, no real needs on the defensive end to re-sign anybody, so they can go out and target a big name defenseman on the free agent market. A guy like John Carlson is probably definitely going to schedule visits with New Jersey. He was a New Jersey-born guy, so possible he considers going there for maybe a team-friendly hometown discount. I don't see it because Carlson's going to be recruited and courted by everybody, but New Jersey definitely has the available space to target a guy like that. Number 5 on my list is the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets currently only have 15 players under active contract. A few notable UFAs is Paul Stastny. What's he going to demand? What type of term are you looking at for him? Guy played second-line center for them most of the way through the playoffs. It played very well in the playoffs all the way through into the Western Conference Finals. So he's a guy that's going to be, you would have to assume, $6.5-7 million of their $24.8 million available cap space. Defense is something they really need to address. Toby Instrom is their UFA, and then Joe Morrow and Josh Morrissey is RFAs. So those guys are going to probably demand a raise. But as well as Connor Hellebuck is a restricted free agent, so he's definitely going to be looking to cash in. So maybe they'll look to try and move Steve Mason's contract or even buy out Steve Mason's contract. That's probably a consideration they can make. But they do have room to get these guys re-signed, brought back in, and still be able to possibly target some of the bigger available free agents. So that's my list of potential free agent destinations that some of these big name guys are going to consider. Mostly because these teams, all of them have one thing in common: they were playoff teams last year, and they have one more thing going forward in common, is I think they are ready-built playoff contenders and possible Stanley Cup contenders moving forward. That's why I think these are going to be really destinations and teams that you need to watch to be active in free agency. Let me know in the comments below who you guys think will be very active in free agency. Where is some of these big name players gonna go and gonna land? I'd love to have the conversation, back and forth banter below in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media listed in the descriptions below, and we will see you next time.